Test, test, 1, 2, 3. All right, looks like we're all set. Okay, so this is here's the deal. If you're looking for fancy gameplay, that's not going to happen today. One, I don't have those skills to make it too exciting, and I'm not playing with a team, so that's definitely cutting back on it. Purpose today is more educational. Going to kind of round out the series that we started like 6 episodes ago on the DAR Training Notebook. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to kind of tie this up with showing you the again, my personal training notebook here, the way it would look after the review of that last match we had. If you want to see that, go check that out. And that then gets recorded into this training notebook here on this training log page. You could do it digitally, you could do it manually. I'd recommend digital. That way you can go ahead and save those to some type of medium, because if you're serious about this stuff, you're going to want to refer back to them. And just as importantly, you'll want to refer back to them to give yourself the opportunity to review these things and make sure you have an idea of what you're talking about when you're trying to mentor someone else and following this. And that's kind of the idea here, is I wanted to put this series out here so people could start playing with it in the game world and start sharing it with other people. So I do ask that if you've liked the series, that you make sure you like the videos and you share those with your more serious players and teammates. So I'll just go ahead and hop into this, and then we'll get a match going. And I think the next series we're going to start doing is actually looking into that e-athlete and their videos, and tying some of that stuff at the operational and tactical levels into what I've been showing you here with this training notebook, and how that facilitates your better gameplay as both an individual and as a teammate. So let's go ahead and look at this. This is page 2, and the event was a Rush Turan Highway match. Played one PvP match. It lasted about I think that was closer to 30 minutes, wasn't it? Or 45, because we played 2. That's right. All right, 45 minutes. And so my improves in that first match was pretty, and through most of them, it was pretty evident that I needed to get to know that key placement better. I'm currently what we call consciously competent. That is, I know I need to press the key, but I need to look down to see where that's at. The equivalent of that would be like having to look down to figure out where your holster is in the real life. You don't want to be doing that. You want to shrink that decision-making process by storing that kind of skill at the unconscious competent level, but it takes some work and effort to get it there. It doesn't just come automatically. If you've ever switched games and key positions or platforms, then you know that it can be a little bit tricky. So it takes a little bit of a learning curve, and that's where I'm at. I'm on this learning curve. I don't get to play nearly enough, as much as I would like anyway. On that note, I am heading out here. I've got a business trip I need to go on. I won't be back until next week. I won't have gaming access until sometime next week. I hope I can make next Tuesday. I know I won't make Saturday. So as soon as I can make the next one, I will. We're still in the process of moving, getting things sorted out. There's a lot of years of accumulated work trash and personal trash that's being moved around and being sorted out, and etc. And then we've got carpeting, flooring, painting, and all that to do. So just stand by on that. So I needed to work, obviously, on my being able to hit those keys better. I want to work that to that conscious, out of that consciously competent over to that unconsciously competent. And I need to work on the HUD. I've mentioned this before. Yeah, I'm kind of used to it being in one place. Not an excuse, it's just the reality. I'm used to looking in one place, and I really don't like the positioning of this one down low, so I got to look down. But it's something I need to master because I can't change the location, and I just got to deal with it. So my suggestion to myself here is, if I hear a gunshot or something going on, noise, I should be checking that HUD. If it's a friendly, I should be seeing that blue arrow. If it's not, then I'm either going to be seeing nothing or that orange arrow. And that's really going to help with my situational awareness. I'm lacking a lot of that, and my map knowledge. And so I kind of wrap that up in the individual training objectives, my 2 improves there. 5, 6, A, B, and C, 8, and 9. I'm not going to bore you with those, and I'm not going to, well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just flip over here. I'll let you pause your video as you see those. I have updated these a little bit, broken them down a little bit further, as well as I updated the table of contents on the material we gave you, which is your personal training notebook. You're looking at mine here, the personal training notebook. Your personal training notebook that I gave you links to in the last video is updated, and the table of contents is squared away. So those are my individuals here. You can see how those cross-reference over to what I need to do. And I'm going to give you again a quick 10 team training objectives. I'm not really playing that much with a team, but anytime I can get any one of these 10 in, I'm doing well. And I could annotate that over here in my individual training notebook, my personal training notebook, and I would if I were playing with a team as well. But I'm really not. I'm just a blueberry out there doing the best I can. The individual basic training objectives to sustain, I'm going to let you go back, review those on your own. Let's see, and my goal statement, you can see that down there, was out there mostly. So what I do want to do now is just kind of go through this. Remember that training log. When you come down here to that goal setting system, is going to reflect your goal setting system, what it is you want to do. In this case, I want to be a valuable teammate. If I were a micro team leader, I'd say want to be a competent individual player as well as a valuable micro team leader, squad leader, platoon leader, whatever it is. That's just basic examples. And all this, again, is going to feed off of itself. So I'll just keep scrolling down here. The mental program we talked about a few episodes back. And then directive affirmation we talked about in that last episode, and I did want to just kind of start going through here. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I did want to kind of tie some of this stuff in. In the principles of mental management, the first one here is talking about your mind can only concentrate on one thing at a time. And then this goes directly into you being able to feed your self-image. So if you're picturing something positive, you can't picture something negative at the same time. So you want to picture yourself doing something positive rather than a negative result happening. In the beginning, if you're like me, kind of just trying to get into this game and learn the game, there's going to be kind of a rough spot because, again, a lot of this stuff isn't ingrained yet at the conscious, unconscious competent level. It's kind of hanging around there at the conscious competent level. It requires more training time. I know I need to get that, but I get it whenever I can. And then there's certain things we can do, like vivid visualization and pantomiming, like the keyboard, to make that happen. which is something I definitely need to work on a little bit more in my off time. It's something you can do while you're traveling. If you're not the driver, it's something you can do. You're sitting at your desk working on something, you can take a short 5, 10, 15-minute break to clear your head and then do some kind of vivid visualization and pantomiming of those keys. And the big point here is it's your mind. You get to control the picture that you want to see happening. And I encourage you to do that because it's pretty important to start seeing the positive results you want. And as we go on, we'll talk a little bit more about that. 2, what you say is not important. What you cause yourself and others to picture is critical. That's crucial. And I'll give you just a real quick example. I was shooting a handgun master's test one time out in California with my mentor. I'm going to call him Bob. And Bob was seriously one of the best shooters I'd ever met in my life. He was exceedingly consistent, really knew his stuff, but every time he came up against this test, he would fail. And I was out on the range, and everybody knew me. I'd probably been there 6 months, a half a year as an instructor. And I was on the range taking the master's test with him and one other guy. And the other guy had really biffed a shot at one stage of fire, and I'd heard Bob after the other guy had started cursing. Bob was like, what's going on? Oh my gosh, you really biffed that. Look at that. Whiffed it right up there in the head. And I just kind of shook my head, and they looked over at me, or Bob looked over at me and was like, hey, yeah, Mr. Positive Mental Management guy. I know. You know, and I was like, hey, you know, you can do whatever you want, but it's going to come back and bite you at some point. And sure enough, the next drill, he had whiffed it. And at that point, he was like, hey, man, you know, I understand there's something deeper going on here. Can you tune me up to this and show me how to do this? And then he used this program to get that master's test. So what ended up happening with him is he had all the skill. He had the conscious and the unconscious skills going on. What he was lacking, as we talked about in the last couple episodes, was that self-image, that he was capable of doing that. And then using this methodology, he was able to turn it around in a very short order. He'd been hunting it for a number of years, and he was able to do that, and then in a number of months turn it around and actually achieve that goal of a handgun master. And that's the kind of results you can expect out of this. So again, it's not important what you're saying, it's what you're causing other people to picture, even yourself, especially yourself. That's important, right? So again, you get to visualize what you want to visualize. You get to focus your attention on what you want to focus your attention on, and just make sure that's always the positive end result you want. You don't want to picture failure. You want to picture success and then drive toward that success. We've already hit on this. The subconscious mind is the source of all mental power. That's because these things have to be, whether it's the mechanics in the game, knowing where all those keys are, not having to hunt and peck for them. That expands your OODA loop. It takes you longer to find that key rather than just pressing it instantly. When you get that to the unconscious level, the subconscious level, that's where you start to shrink that OODA loop, and it starts to become very powerful because it becomes ingrained. And that's another reason for all the stuff we've been talking about, the directive affirmation, having a mental program you can work off of, etc., etc. The unconscious mind, the subconscious, as Lanny calls it, moves you to do whatever the conscious mind is picturing. And again, more need for you making sure that everything you want to happen, you're mentally focused on the positive results, not the bad results, and focusing on what it is you can do better by eliminating common mistakes that you're making. The self-image and performance are always equal. You can't change that, hence that need for the directive affirmation. The good news is you can replace the self-image you have with the self-image you want and permanently change your performance. The seventh principle, the one of balance, where we have been talking about the conscious, the subconscious, and self-image all being equal in that triad state. And you can make those grow with consistent and reliable rates just by simply using the system and monitoring what you're doing. The principle of reinforcement, the more we talk about, think about, write about things happening, the more we improve the odds of that happening. If you decide to take this system on to achieve your goals, you can be assured one of two things happening. You're going to either achieve your goals or you're going to quit using the system. There's no two ways. If you use the system and you're continuous with it and you're actually working on it, you will achieve that goal, provided it's realistic. You know, if you're an older guy like me and say you want to get in the space program, the odds are that's not going to happen because they're not going to give you that waiver. So it's got to be realistic, and for sure you can reach any realistic goal you set in front of yourself. The self-image cannot tell the difference between what actually happens and what is vividly imagined. That's why the self-image thinks you're a friggin' Casanova. So you want to use that concept to your advantage by ensuring that your vivid visualizations are those good performances. You can see how all this stuff starts to tie together, and kind of why I'm saving this stuff here for last. The principal value, we appreciate the things in direct proportion to the price we pay for them. That's just common sense truth. Training guidelines here, catch yourself doing something right. That's where we have those sustains. This goes so far that I tell students on the range, and our instructors tell students on the range, when you're taping up, you want to tape up from that outside inward. I know I've had some bad shots probably in the recent past. I don't remember those. I look at, and I encourage my students to look at those good shots, that good shot placement. They can certainly analyze where the shots aren't, but I want them to look at that good shot placement, knowing what it takes to get a good shot off, and repeat that and visualize that before that happens. So another thing we're looking at is training 4 to 5 days a week. We're not looking for burnout. A lot of people will train 6-7 days a week. That will lead to burnout, except for some very rare individuals who can take something like that, but that is not recommended. Even those who are rare like that, 6 days is the max, and you got to take some time off. That's just all there is to it. Wherever you are, be all there. What that means is if you're gaming, don't think about the schoolwork you got to be doing, and vice versa. If you're doing schoolwork, don't think about the gaming. Be all there. You know, it's kind of that idea of being present, being in the now. And taking it even a step further is if you're a competitive gamer and you're taking this to the leagues, then every opportunity you get, you want to treat each match with the same level of intensity, as close as you can to those league matches or to a series of matches building up to a league match. There's a couple of different ways you can parse that down, and it's really going to depend on you and your needs, and we'll talk about that more as we get more deeply into this. Vivid visualization, mental rehearsals are exceedingly beneficial in your training session, and not just outside of that training session. So when you go back up to running that mental program, that should be happening numerous times in a match, depending on obviously what you're focusing on. Me, it's focusing on winning that fight. I got to refine that. I'm noticing I've, like that last match, I won a fight. I was so focused on that and getting around a big boulder that I neglected to see the guy that was right behind him off on the right side that shot me in the right side of my head. Okay, so when you're shooting well, shoot a lot. And what that basically means is, look, when you're performing well, you want to continue with that activity. You want to continue to perform better. So you might play more than 1, 2, 3, 4 you know, you're going to play really well when you're playing well. And conversely, if you come into the day and you're having just like a horrible match for whatever reason, you've basically got two options available to you. The first option I recommend, which is buck the fuck up, cowboy up, pull your head out, and get back to work. Focus on the game and start running your mental program. Start focusing on the positive results. Look at those individual efforts and those team efforts and start working those. No matter how horrible the game is, you'll be able to hit those individual and those team training objectives rather easily, and that gives you something positive to focus on rather than, you know, what all the other blueberries are doing and getting your ass kicked. You guys achieve your missions. It makes that game all that better. On the other side of that is, look, if it is just there's nothing you can friggin' do, and it's at a point where it's tilting you, you need to consider just stopping, right? It's just stop the game, get off, go do something else, have a good friggin' day doing something else, and come back and then start hitting your training for the rest of the week. So this is a tough one for most people, and this is going to piss a lot of people off, probably. And this is surround yourself with those that are superior to you. And most people don't have the ability to swallow the pride to work with people better than them. And so why do we surround ourselves with people better than us? Because they bring us up to their level. Conversely, surrounding yourself with people you're just kicking the shit out of all the time, whether it's another team that you're running up against, or it is your team that is way subpar to your standards and unwilling to come up to your standards. If they're unwilling to come up to your standards, you're not doing them any favors, and they're not doing you any favors by you hanging around playing with a group of people that are not as dedicated, serious, and want to tackle this the way you do. So the trick here is you're either building your own team or you're joining a team. I would highly recommend that you start building your own teams, and the reason for this is if you build your own team, you're kind of setting the standards. And if somebody is really in the hunt for a good teammate and they see you've got some team skills, i.e. building a team, leading a team, and if you're doing what a good leader does, which is oftentimes letting other people on your team, your junior leaders, take over that leadership and run that match so you can develop their leadership, and you take a back seat as a leader, let them make mistakes, pick everything up in the AARs or give them gentle reminders in the game, you are personally a much more valuable asset to any team that's in the hunt than you would be if you were just a solo player with a great KDR and that's all you really brought to a team. I can tell you, I personally do not care, and nobody in DAR cares about your KDR. To hell with your KDR. What we're looking for is great team play. And some of us, like I like playing the logistics role, and I just know my KDR is going to be less than somebody playing an assault role, whatever it may be, that's up there getting the contact. Know your role, play your role, fill the roles the team needs filling as often as needed, and be a good team player, and you will be wanted by teammates. You will be wanted by teams. Okay, so surround yourself with those who are superior to you. And that's kind of what competition does, is you're either climbing in that ladder, meeting people that are better with you, or you're not. You're hanging down there at the bottom, and you're in ELO hell, and you're just kind of got a pity party going on, which happens a lot. I'm sure everybody knows that. This is one of those ways out of there. So if you can't get those teammates to step up with you, you need to step the fuck off and go find a new team, build your own team, find a new team, whatever, and start working your way up the ladder. I like 7 a lot. When you make a bet with yourself, you achieve some of your training objectives. You need to make that bet and pay that thing off. Don't just say, oh, I made that, not a big deal. Make them worthy of your time to pay off. What might that be? I don't know, man. That might be, for you, it might be, going out spending, a couple extra bucks on a new set of headphones or whatever. I don't know what your goals are. They're going to be your goals, things you want to reward. So you make that bet, and you'll see them paying off quite regularly. It could be extra game time, it could be a break, it could be a whole lot of things. Whatever you want, make that happen. Make those bets and pay those off. It gives you something to look forward to in the middle of that training. I am going to, at this point, leave this to you and encourage you at this point to buy Lanny Bassam's book. Again, these page numbers are going to be different. I do need to update them, but I would encourage you to buy Lanny's book. I don't make a penny off of these things. So I encourage you to do that, not for my benefit, not for Lanny's benefit, but your own benefit. Get in there, check out that book, and then check out what these principles are. You can get that on ebook as well. I know he's got an ebook. I've got a copy of it on ebook. And then you can go see those 7 strategies for yourself and read those, but they're all very good. I encourage you to dig deep into these things. All right, so that's going to round that out for me. Round that out for us. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and hop over to a game. And then this will drive my training notebook for myself. Again, I was showing you my training notebook. If you want to see the way I continue to develop this, you're going to have to come over, work with me at DAR, be a teammate. I'll open that mine up to you again as we start working our way through this. If you're not doing that, that's okay. We're going to continue another series here that deals with the e-athlete videos that I've been telling you guys about. I'll give you links to all that. It's I think in their first videos or so. We'll be heading over to the e-athlete site, looking at their videos. I don't endorse them for their product. I know they make a nootropic drink or something. I know nothing about it. I've never taken it. I've never researched any of that. I know nothing about that. But what I do know about is training and coaching teams and individual players. And I can tell you that the videos they have on that subject are some of the best I've seen. At least free videos. I've seen other paid content out there that I don't even think is equal to that. I do give them a heads up. You will definitely want to check out their videos, and then we'll show you guys how all this starts to tie in with the stuff that they're putting out. All right, let's go ahead and get into Battlefield. I guess I could have been doing that while I was chatting away there. Who do we got going? Ooh, Extreme Noobs. God, I hate that Metro 24/7, but we'll do it. It's okay. We'll do it. All right. What the hell am I doing here? Waiting on that. Okay. Anyway, while I'm waiting for this to deploy, I do hope that the stuff we've gone over in this training notebook has given you an opportunity to actually use that stuff. I believe if you go back in those videos, and I know it was kind of a quick walkthrough, but it wasn't very exceedingly shallow. I mean, we could have gone deeper and bored the hell out of you guys. I think sometimes we may have. But I really encourage you to go in there, take a look at the previous videos. If you're missing anything, it should all be in there, and then obviously you can contact me in Discord just by going over to my Twitch channel, look down there, Discord, hook up with us on Discord, and we'll start playing together, and hopefully you will start playing together with us, start using this training notebook for your own self. Would love to have you here as a team, and if you're kind of the leader type and you like building your own teams and you see the value in this and you want to do this, come over here to DAR. We'll make sure that you've got everything you need to take your training, your team's training, to the next level. So let's get going here. Close, no cigar. How's that? Nope. Close enough. All right. Okay, let's see what my team's doing. They're all medics. What do they got going on here? I don't know. I don't think a team of medics would probably be the best thing going down here. Where was that guy? Did not see that guy. Somebody got him. Woo!
Hey, I need medical help. Come on.
Ah, he was in that corner. I did not see that corner. All right, I'm sure the video will show it. Okay, so shit ton of medics. Okay, well, maybe not so much anymore. This what do I got here for this loadout? Is this the? I've already been playing. Yep. Okay. All right. I think this came up against this yesterday. Oh man, I could not jump forward. I had my fingers on the wrong keys. Okay, so there you go. Trying to chuck a grenade, but then again, looking over at it. Okay, again, one of those OODA loop things, shrinking that decision-making process by not having to look down. Alright. Spawn beacon. What should I be coming in here as? I guess ammo. I'm going to keep doing that. Bunny hopping. Okay, so what we're seeing here is a stagnant. We're stagnating here, B and C, or between B and A, and I think a lot of that comes from you know, these teams not working together, pushing together. I should have had him. I don't know how that guy's getting those shots. All right. I just don't know where he's at. That's the only thing. Not a big deal. So we're getting the stalemate here because nobody's pushing through, and what you need on something like this is the ability to push through. A little bit of Overwatch here. Uh-oh. We got some lag going on here. So then the question becomes, nope. Damn it, what happened? Your connection to server time. Ooh, is that me? Or was that them? What's my ping? I know I've, hold on here, I gotta check my download speed. Been having some problems over the past couple of days. that's loading pretty quick. Nope. About 250 here. 33 ping, so I'm good. That wasn't me. That was the... Okay, let's update this, see if we can't get into one good match. What's my time here? Okay. Hold on. Oof. Refresh and save. What do we got here? Okay, Conquest all maps, no lag. TPG clan. Okay, let's try that. All right. Operation Metro. Okay. Getting back into that.
Uprise wide and spotted a hostile sniper. Over.
Ah, same match. Okay, so. Maybe. Kind of looks like it. Okay. Oh, I'm on the different team this time. Damn it. Squad and team. Switch team. Continue. Okay, where are my teammates? Wait, what? No. Wouldn't let me switch teams? Squad and team. Oh, I gotta commit suicide. Yes. Okay, gotta kill myself. Alright.
Here's your ammo. Pick it up.
Okay, now switch teams.
Can I help you? I'm a medic.
Okay. Switch teams. Yes. I would unbalance the team. Whatever. Okay, so it looks like we got guys back here holding security. Bad guys on the right.
Here's a grenade for you fucker!
Can I help you out? I'm a medic.
Spotted a hostile soldier area. Over.
Be advised, we've taken the objective. And we all go home soon.
Okay, so we're pushing towards the red line here.
Keep it up, boys. We're doing great. You're doing great.
Be on the lookout. I have spotted a hostile sniper. Over. I have spotted a hostile soldier in your AO. Your eyes open. There's a hostile soldier in your AO. Over. Help! Help! I'm pinned down!
I need a different gun for that. Ah. Alright, let's see if we can't get a little bit different gun. Maybe I can get the same place. I don't know, it's a red line. Like I said, I'd rather been on the other team. Not a big red line fan. Heat on that side. Gonna try to come around this other side.
Hostile sniper.
I thought I would have got him. I didn't get off of that grenade quick enough and back on my sights.
Somebody shoot these cocksuckers! I'm getting...
Got a sniper. Sniper. Hostile sniper near you.
Hey, wake up!
Enemy sniper in our pod.
Get down over here! Be on the lookout. I've spotted a hostile sniper. Over. I've spotted a hostile soldier in your AO. Over. Be on the lookout. Spotted a hostile soldier.
Good, they're putting out smoke. That's always good. He was not laying off that belt fed. Excuse me, sorry, didn't mean to cough in your ear there.
Look at that cocksucker with that machine gun! I need help! Spotted a hostile soldier in the area. Over. They're back. Double back! Your eyes wide. Spotted a hostile soldier. Over.
Oh, got me. I knew it was a matter of time. If he's any good, it was just a matter of time. See, everybody's using some distance. I guess I'll come in here with some distance too. It's Alright, this is not a lot of fun. This is just a shooting gallery. This is pretty douchebaggery here. Somebody will pick him up, I'm sure. So the most important thing to do here is be able to mark these guys. Anytime, really, I think it's one of the most important things to do. Let's just let the rest of your team know what's going on. Anybody working the flanks isn't going to be surprised by the cherry running around the edge. Go down to get some ammo. back over here, provide Overwatch. This is really, I really don't like this, but, you know, it won't let me switch teams. So just try to get over it as quickly as possible. All right, so I think that's going to wrap it up for us. I will see you guys next week. If you're enjoying the series and you'd like to see how this integrates at the higher levels, I encourage you to stick around. Like I said, we'll be doing the e-athlete thing next and tying it into their series. I've been promoted! Promoted! So we'll kick that off next week at some point, maybe Tuesday or Thursday. I'm going to try to get back into this. Again, bear with us as we get things moved around. It is going to take a while. I'm predicting a few weeks, maybe a month or so of inconsistency, but I think it'll be worth your time to tune in. Again, if this appeals to you, I invite you to come and join us in DAR. If you go to our Twitch, or my Twitch stream, or DAR's Twitch stream, you can see down there toward the bottom the link. Give you an opportunity to join us at a general level, play a few matches with us when you can. If this sort of thing appeals to you, again, remember what I've been showing you here over the past few episodes, I guess that was 7 series, is a training program, mental management program, wrapped up in one that allows you to set goals and achieve them. And I want you to remember that this isn't just for gaming. It wasn't designed initially just for gaming. It was designed initially for Olympic athletes, and has been used now a long time for a lot of other purposes. And one of those purposes I'd like to see that brought into here is the gaming world. So if this kind of thing appeals to you, if you're a team player, no shit team player, you don't care about your KDR nearly as much as you care about team support, winning as a team, then we definitely have a place for you. Come out, give us a try. DAR is around. We're doing this not because BF3 is you know, the ultimate game that ever was. It's just kind of a pretty solid game that we're using to train ourselves and our teams up in anticipation for Project Nova, which will be coming out this year from CCP. I am a old Dust 514 veteran, now refugee waiting for Nova to launch, as are many people. So we're getting into the first-person shooter again, not to learn the keys necessarily, although I do need that because I haven't been PC playing for a very long time, like the mid-90s. So that's kind of our goal, is get teams together. The most important thing in that team is obviously the individual skills make you a competent operator, but as the team, it's working as a team, and then working as a team means communicating as a team and thinking about how your other teammates react to certain situations. And if you're all following your individual training objectives and the team training objectives, it's easier to critique that kind of thing, and all those objectives will train as your team works better together. So that's our purpose here, recruiting teams, getting teams built to head over, for myself at least, Project Nova, and probably a lot of the other guys, Project Nova. So if you like that thing, you want to start your own team, you want those training resources that'll help you guide your team and keep your team growing and getting better, come and see us. Come work with us. You're more than welcome to use this material. It is copyright commons attribution, so you're more than free to take it, play with it, etc. As long as you don't claim it as your own. Base idea, I don't claim it as my own. I give this out to Lanny Bassam, and then, you know, modifications we've made on it for our previous stuff. So we just ask you to do the same thing. Yeah, come join us, play with us. Really, no kidding. If you're a more adult gamer, you're a professional business person, athlete, gamer, whatever it is, come and join us. and help us work this thing over and help other people learn how to do this so they can get better too. If you liked Dust 514, you like the idea of a Dust 514 type game, you can go watch that anywhere on the internet. You can see that kind of stuff going on. That type of thing, space tie-in with CCPs, EVE Online and Valkyrie, same universe, New Eden. Encourage you to go visit our friends at biomass.net. They are keeping up with what's going on very tightly in Project Nova, CCP's efforts there. And they put out a weekly podcast that is certainly worth your time watching. They got a great group of guys over there, always entertaining and oftentimes educational in nature. So I invite you to go over there, keep up with Project Nova with our good friends at biomass.net, our friends and teammates over there. All great guys, wonderful podcast. Get in there, get hooked on that. It's a fun place to be, and get some real good personalities coming through there. So that's pretty much going to be it for me. I'm going to sign off till next week. If you do have questions about this, again, hit us up in Discord. You can text me there. I still get my Discord on my phone and on my non-gaming PCs, so hit us up there and I'll get back to you just as soon as I can. So thanks a lot for joining. Thanks a lot for watching. Again, if you enjoy this kind of thing, one, come play with us. Two, please like these videos and share them with your other professional friends. And come join us, because this goes much, much, much deeper. You're just seeing the very tip of the iceberg here for individual and getting people moved into team play. So until next time, you guys have a safe week. Remember, stay safe by being dangerous out there. And I will catch you later. Take care. Bye-bye.